Hello people, my name is Rage and welcome to some more Hearthstone GvG tournament NA side, and it is time to have our final round 1 match, which means we are soon going to know the names of our 4 quarter-finalists or I always get it wrong. I'm a tournament bracket noob to my shame. But without further ado, I am excited. Let's do our final round 1 NA match. Let's go to the game. Here we are then in the first game of this series, and it is a Hunter played by Dragon Lord. I mean, that is kind of epic. Literally the Lord of all Dragons is playing in my tournament. I feel very, very special. He's also a Golden Hunter, which makes me feel he has played Scum so much that he is now, like, Golden Scum? I don't know how I feel about that, but welcome, Dragon Lord, and his opponent is El Niño Hero, which I also really like, playing what looks to be pretty standard, rampy kind of druid. Getting a Stranglethorn Tiger off the web spinner, very nice, very solid, very good. I think the Mad Scientist would technically have been a better play there, but there's not much in it. Sensibly playing out the big game Hunter, knowing you're not going to need it against a more aggressive Hunter deck, unless he gets something ridiculous off web spinner, so that makes a lot of sense for our druid friend. I do apologize, guys, because last time I made some mistakes with my assessment, analysis, and commentary, and that will happen occasionally. I'll do maths wrong on the fly, or I'll talk about some cards in a slightly wrong way, because it's very fast-paced, this game, so I'm trying to keep up with everything while predicting moves, while explaining moves, and it's a lot of information I'm trying to look at and then convey, and I'm still learning, so please give me a little bit of leeway if I do fuck up every now and then. So, very smart play. Reduce the ridiculous advantage the Mad Scientist gives from giving a secret with the Keeper of the Grove. That I'm not too sure about, because he probably would have done that trade anyway, and you could have killed the Haunted Creeper for free. I mean, yes, you would have summoned the 1/1s, one of which would have gone into the 4/2, but you're going to have to deal with this eventually, and you could have done it while leaving something alive on your side of the field. I don't know how he's going to get rid of this as a druid that easily. I mean, to be fair, this turn he could hit into that and use his Wrath to get 2 draws, but that's also very poor usage of Wrath. He is just going to go for the sensible, stable play of whack down a big-ass taunt and hope that he doesn't have Hunter's Mark. Now, of course, he can kill Command and Stranglethorn Tiger, which is still pretty good for the Hunter, because you gotta remember, this Stranglethorn Tiger was free. Not from his deck, not from anywhere. It's a fine investment, though that kill command means it's no longer going face, which means the Hunter is basically, he just gained 5 health. Sorry, the Druid just gained 5 health, which is very, very nice for him. We've got the Savannah Highmane, one of the best 6 drops in the game, only arguably can compete with Fire Elemental, and then legendaries like Sylvanas, so this is going to be interesting. Druid lacks removal on high health targets, so a Savannah Highmane is always kind of worrying for them to deal with, and it can of course trade with Druid of the Claw for free, though the sensible play this turn is simply to Ancient of Law and draw 2 cards, keep your fuel going, keep everything alright, and make sure that you have the tools you need to really bring this home, because it's very easy to get overwhelmed by a Hunter. I'm not sure why we've got double Scavenging Hyena. It's not seen that much play of late, so there may be some interesting shenanigans going on in this deck. I'd assume probably a Snake Trap if he is playing Hyena. Maybe even he's running the ridiculously nerfed Buzzard. That could also be interesting. He's going to go for the safer play, knowing that he's going to lose a Claw for free to the Highmane and simply play another one. I think this was the only turn he was going to be able to safely draw 2 cards off Ancient of Law. I'm not sure that entirely was the best decision. Animal Companion, Scavenging Hyena, Hero Power, do some trades. You don't really need to trap at this point, because sending the 4/6 back isn't the best thing in the world. That's a very, very nice pickup. Honestly, Explosive Trap definitely makes the most sense, especially if your high main does die and goes into the 2/2s, and is in fact going to freezing trap. It could be a mind game plan, and hoping that the bear will, for example, try and attack face and get froze instead of trading with, example, Leok. Although, actually... Oh yeah, obviously, it's explosive trap that it is only hero. That makes a lot more sense now. Excuse me, this is one of those fuck-ups I was going to talk about. So yeah, there we go. Very, very sensible from El Nino Hero. Uses the freezing trap to actually get a silence to then amazingly deal with that high main using a Wrath to cycle. That was a beautiful little play there, and much better than the rubbish I was talking about. To be fair, Druid, not really my class, not very experienced with it. Lotheb, never really a bad play, is going to give him an extra turn to try and build up some more threats, but our Hunter is at the problem where he can't deal with these big minions, and he's not got El Nino Hero on about 10 health. On turn 8, as an aggressive Hunter, you want your opponent to be on 10 health so you can finish it off with some extra reach, and that is just not going to happen. That explosive trap has not done much. We got some BM coming out for El Nino Hero, and he's finally going to drop that Ancient of Law and draw 2 cards, or at least he goddamn better with this board. I mean, it is just such a perfect time to do it. Not quite as good as earlier, but still a pretty safe double draw, and he's still not. He's going to go for the double Harvest Golem, and I guess he just wants board presence, I suppose, because the Hunter, obviously Unleash the Hound isn't a thing anymore, so he just wants to overwhelm the person that was attempting to overwhelm him, which is actually kind of funny, really. He is going to buff up the Houndmaster with the Haunted Creeper, eliminate the bear, keep Lotheb alive, get the Hyena down. He's basically going all in here. If he can't pull this off, he's going to find himself in a lot of trouble. He should at the very least kill the 2/2, and he does indeed, and it doesn't really matter which one of these gets frozen trapped back to the hand, it's going to be value. That was a lovely top deck from him. He gets to Black Knight that. The Black Knight not often run at the moment, and he happens to have teched it in. That is a very, very nice little call, and now he gets to do the world's most satisfying swipe. Harvest Golem into the 4/2, a swipe on the 4/3, and that right there, ladies and gentlemen, is the nail on the head. This is game over. The Hunter cannot physically win anymore. It is beyond done. So, El Nino Hero... well, short of, I guess, magically amazing draws from this point, but I believe Aang can save the world. No, I believe that even if Dragonlord could pick what card he draws from his deck back to back to back, he still really could not get out of this situation. He just simply does not have the throughput, and now we're finally gonna see the Ancient of Law drawing 2 cards, and again with the BM. All of that BM, and he's gonna Wrath away his last hope. And now, it ends. Well, actually no. He can't finish him off. He's got to deal with one more little annoyance. Play the explosive trap. You're at least going to kill 3 things. That's quite amusing. But that really, really is it. 16 health ain't all that bad against a Druid, because Druid is actually kind of good, especially big taunts Druid at stopping Hunter, so it was definitely in the Druid's favour here, and he's not even gonna trigger the explosive trap. That is just an extra slap to Dragonlord's face here. That is quite the game. So 1-0 to El Nino Hero. The Hunter could just not hunt hard enough despite his goldenness, and a very solid Druid game played. And here we are in the second game. We now have El Nino Hero playing my main man, Thrall. I'm so close to Golden Thrall, only 100 wins. I say only 100, that's still so many, but to say it started out as 500, I am getting there. And now Dragonlord has switched to the Druid that he got so thrashed by, although he is running Mech Bear Cat, which means that next turn, he can play a turn 2 Mech Bear Cat. There is no Hex. Oh no, the balls were not there for Dragonlord. That would have wrecked. That, seriously... that probably would have won the game. Granted, he could have coined Feral Spirit and staved off a few attacks. It was a little bit all-in. Deathwing as well. Okay, I am liking this. But that would have scared him. You got to assert dominance, guys. He's at least going to go for the turn 4 Mech Bear Cat. So that's, you know, it's half a ball. I do like Shaman though, so I'm liking what I'm seeing. It's a very low cost but sticky minions with your Flame Tongue is getting a lot of value out of everything Shaman. Very stable, very solid, and it's not one that I'm a fan of because I like playing bigger minions in Shaman and riding the early game out with removal. As in my new deck at the moment has got a lot of cool heavy late game stuff going on, but I definitely see the appeal and the stability of doing this because it really is quite good. And the Mark of the Wild, he mulliganed away both of his Earth Shocks. He doesn't have Hex, he has no real way past this. That Rock Biter weapon was a absolute godsend there. Had he not drawn that, he would have been in severe trouble. But he is, of course, going to give it, surely, to the Haunted Creeper. I mean, it does make it kind of swipeable. There is definitely an argument for taking the 9 damage yourself, but I don't think it's entirely worth it. And then obviously trading the Wolf so you keep the stickiness of the Haunted Creeper alive, because you don't need the taunt for any sort of charging action. We're even going to see a Toshly. That is really, really cool. And in fact, getting the Rusty Horn is lovely, especially 2 time rewinders as well. That potentially is going to come in very, very handy. Mel Nino Hero probably expected this game to be as easy as his last one. He's probably a little bit surprised at the goings-on. Flame Tongue Totem, though, doing an incredible amount of work. And now Mr. Dragonlord is in a little bit of an issue because he kind of doesn't have anything to play, really. Though that is very convenient, he can innovate up to that, and indeed he probably should. Though it means he can't innovate to Deathwing. The advantage he does have is that if El Nino Hero really commits to the board here, which he may very well right, Deathwing would be a massive swing for him. He does have to play something here, though. He cannot let a round of beats go to his face. He may be suspecting a Bloodlust, which is kind of okay in a deck with lots of small little things like this. And now we see an Annoyatron. Though Fire Elemental is, of course, the play, the free damage from there, the free damage from the Spider, and the final bit from, of course, the Harvest Golem, and then you get a Fire Elemental on the field, which is no bad thing against a Druid that will obviously struggle to remove it because it's got more than 4 health. If it's a big thing with more than 4 health, then you are in a bit of a pickle, and that actually was a much better way around than I initially said. That is very convenient. I kind of disregarded using the Taunt Totem, because I like having the Taunt Totem up. It is one of the best, if not the best totem to get regularly, but the Environmental does get dealt with very luckily, but also nicely, by a Starfire card, which I think is definitely underestimated by a lot of Druids. I personally like it quite a lot. We see a Crackle. Dr. Boom is the play here. Dr. Boom is never a bad play when you're ahead, when you're behind, when you're up, when you're down, when you're left, when you're right, when you're in a black hole, when you're out on the street. Dr. Boom is a great play, arguably the best legendary in the game. So that is a very easy decision to make by El Nino Hero, and again, a phenomenal top deck by Mr. Dragonlord does give him a 5/10 taunt, though our Shaman friend has a lot of ways to deal with it. Personally, it would have been more sensible to kill the 1 damage Boombot to reduce the chances of this happening. He doesn't even need to use the Crackle, but you know, it potentially could have backfired with a lot of face damage, but I think it would have been sensible just to remove 1 Boombot out of the equation. He is forced to Deathwing here. There is no question about it. He has to Deathwing or he loses the game. And the thing is, his hand is, oh, the BM from El Nino Hero! Not expecting a Deathwing right here. Oh, no! If Crackle hits for 4 or more, then he has won because of the goddamn damaged golem. Oh no, surely hit for free, please. I want it to hit for free. No! What an end! What an end to that game! I feel so bad for Dragonlord. The Deathwing, the BM bitch slapper, and he's still lost. I mean, the Annoyatron would have stopped 2 Deathwing attacks. He eventually would have drawn removal, but still, What an end to this series. What a wonderful little series as well. That was that's fantastic. So why I love this game. So there you go. Congratulations, Nin, your hero. A 2-0 victory against Dragonlord and does proceed as our final winner of NA Round 1. So there we have it, guys. Our 4 semi-quarters have been decided. If I had to bet, I'd go with quarter, but I'm still very tournament challenged. Have been decided, and it is looking pretty good. I think NA has had a nice amount of creativity. I think EU has made kind of better decisions so far, especially that Rage guy. He seemed very solid in his games. But I am liking both sides of the tournament very much. There's a lot of interesting stuff going here. I don't know if next episode will be Hollow finally doing his game, or if we're going to have our first quarter-final semi-quarter. I don't even care anymore. But either way, it's going to be good. Things are really heating up now, and I'm excited to eventually find out who our champion is going to be. So for now, my name has been Rage. Remember to like if you've enjoyed this. It really does help support the series, and I do appreciate it. And subscribe for more. Oh, goodbye. You've been watching